Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Figure It Out. As I had promised you right from the start that I'm going to bring people from different walks of life. I've covered fitness, advertising, digital. So today I have a mix of something of everything, sports, digital, party scenes and everything. And very proud to welcome Pratik on show for the
Hi
same.
guys.
So Pratik, what do you do right now? Like, just a quick intro about, how the last 15 years of your life have been.
Let's keep it to 13, not 15 yet. I will be there soon in the next 2 years, you can say. I was a mass media graduate. I
Mhm.
graduated in 2010. Wow, that's a long time. Um, Started my career with Ogilvy, intern, been there for 6 years, traveled around here and there trying to
You were
figure
in
out.
an agency for 6 years.
Yeah, an
That's a long
advertising
time.
agency for like
That's a
6 years.
long time.
That's a long time. Uh, like first job, very comfortable around there. So that was the biggest reason of me sticking around. Obviously, brand played a very important role because
Right.
it was Mondelez, Cadbury's, one of the best brands that you can
You
ever
would
work
want to
on.
leave that.
Yeah, though I didn't like chocolates, but it always helped me in giving chocolates and probably getting my way out. That's how I
fair
kept it
enough.
across.
Free chocolates always help.
Yes, always.
Yeah.
But yeah, stayed around for 6 years, figuring out, went to multiple agencies after that.
Mhm.
Probably job was not very stable after that.
Mhm.
Running around here and there, trying to figure out what I actually wanted to do in general. Trying to figure out my niche. That's when
Niche, yeah.
But I think probably after that, I decided that I want to get into the digital side of the world where.
When was this? Like after how long you were working in?
So I said 6 years and probably 2 years of figuring out what I want to do.
So around
So around
2018.
2018 is something where I figured out what I actually wanted to do. And that's when I got into the digital side of it. So when I said the digital side of it, I was always inclined towards two things in my life and I had to choose whether I want to go right or left.
Okay.
Started with the left side of it first because right is not always right. We just put it across in that way. Events is something that I wanted to do because being a party animal, I used to love partying. And this was something I started in the earliest stage of my life, probably 16 years से party करना चालू किया था यार.
So when you say events, it's more got to do with party scenes or like you do like events बोलते तो corporate events
Nah,
वो
nah,
सब
nah.
नहीं.
Corporate was never a part of me. I mean, I tried, like I said, after Ogilvy, I tried multiple things.
Right.
Because people were telling me, like, oh, you know what, you're good in events. Why can't you do that?
Right.
So I started with events, got in the wrong setup, and it was more to do with corporate. And I don't think I ever liked it. I think within a month or two, I said, I don't want to do this.
Right.
I'm not doing. I'm going back to advertising again.
Right.
So that was a phase where I'm taking that into consideration. But yeah, events, when I say parties, because I loved partying and obviously I wanted to work for something what I loved doing.
Right.
So like I said, there were two things. So one of them currently that I'm talking about is the party scene.
Correct.
Because one of my friend was connected to someone in the industry, and he was into the same party scene and is probably curating events for the best clubs of Bombay.
Right.
That's how I got into it. It was a contract job for 6 months. Obviously, I had to prove my point as well, and obviously they wanting to extend the contract in that way. So did that for 6 months. Probably from a higher salary, I went to a lower salary because that is how much I loved and I wanted to get into it. तो मेरे लिए वो वैसा सीन था. I got into it.
But you always probably had that thought that के अभी पैसा कम है बाद में ज़्यादा मिलेगा, probably because you loved it so much and you knew somewhere that के I can grow in this field, or like how?
So the biggest reason for me getting into events was not money. It was more to do with networking, because I'll tell you what, it's a very emotional story. Let me just put it across in that way that there was a phase in my life where I was jobless for 6 months, and it taught me a lot of things. And
desperation teaches you a lot.
Desperation was before that also, because for me the biggest problem that I faced in my life was ego. My ego was really big.
Okay.
So leaving one of the jobs was because of my ego. I wouldn't name which company and where, because
that's okay. You left because of your ego, so you wouldn't want to.
Yes, obviously. Yeah. And later on, it was just because I didn't like a job and I just quit. I said, I'm not going to do this. But I always had one thing in my mind, ki like, हाँ भाई, confidence था, job मिल जाएगा, इतना में क्या है. Last time मिल गया, ये time भी मिल जाएगा.
Right.
But that never happened at that phase of my life when I was jobless for 6 months. I tried doing multiple things. I tried coming up with my own setup for something that I wanted to do, not something that I am even thought of doing. Like Uber चलाने का भी सोचा था मैंने एक time पे. Like वैसा हो गया था. It reached to a stage where I know people are saying that Uber is new in the market. People are making 80,000 to 1 lakh rupee a month.
And it's like the fancy new
new thing coming up. Yeah. I did registration तक पहुंच गया था मैं.
अच्छा
मतलब it reached the stage where I had registered my company as
गाड़ी
well.
भी ले ली थी
गाड़ी तो थी ना भाई हमारी पता है वैगनर तो थी ना हमारे पास
वैगनर तो थी ना
उसको सिर्फ नंबर प्लेट हमको येलो करना था और क्या that's how it was for me but yeah like things worked out in the right way at right time
Yeah.
and eventually I got into events and did that for 6 months had a chance to probably extend that contract and become a full timer in that but I said there's no growth here unless and until you move out of the space that I was working so I started with my own
Setup.
event company Live It Entertainment it did wonders for me because like I said for me it was more than money it was more to do with networking part of it I think the network was great I think the way I've created my contacts out there the
So
people in the industry
how did you go about creating that network did you just like randomly go into parties and be like अरे ये बंदा थोड़ा दिख रहा है ऐसा फैंसी दिख रहा है इसको अप्रोच करते इससे बात करते ऐसे मतलब how did you like LinkedIn पे तो नहीं मिलेंगे तुमको ये लोग
never so like I said I think for every person that I met they were like really younger to me and like if I am 28 they were 22 and 20 they were kids young kids who probably wanted to make money some of them are rich brats let me just put it on that like हम सब वो जगह पे
so
एक time पे
party
रह चुके
scene requires money let's
party scenes require money because you need to spend I'm like if you're curating an event
I remember Playboy में मेरे को साला एक ILIT 1,000 rupees का था उसके बाद से मैं कभी गया नहीं
correct that's what I'm saying so there are different places different things
absolutely
but like I said अलग type के लोग मिलेंगे there are some who are very influential some who are probably brats some who are kiddish like you find different kinds of people
how do you differentiate who's a genuine person and who's not a genuine person
it's experience I would
experience
say
of yours or like how much
in
time
general
spent
like probably when we curate an event that doesn't mean you go inside and party you have to stand on the door probably do your entries and everything people who are coming in you need to speak to them
watchman बन जाते हो
watchman बनना पड़ता है भाई अंदर जाके party करना is not something so basically like if you have a group of 3 people organizing an event you'll see one person who is influential who can probably get the crowd pulling and do the business for you because that's how you get in money curating an event is probably you need to make a certain percentage in the net for you to get that money in your pocket that's how it is you have a very good artist who's on board who's playing good music you need to sell tables that's how it's divided into
so just when you say curating an event how does that work like do clubs approach you saying that okay I've filled my club out or and then you go out and search an artist and make a team okay ये artist लेके आएगा ये लोग लेके आएगा मैं club से coordinate करूंगा is that how it works
it's a mixture of everything like I said when I got into the event circle the event phase of it I made my contacts because of the people that I was working with and they were okay with it not that I took away their contacts and I started my own thing they were very much aware of what I was doing and I kept them
my question is that how does the event curation work like the process of curating an event how do you like get in touch with the club or the club approaches you or
so
like
the whole part was that only while I was working in that event company I made enough contacts that every club owner recognized me so there was a time you can say bhai hum hero the market mein people knew who I was and working with the owners and probably the regional and the national head of the same
it's as good as like if you're working in a agency and you're working for a client the client recognizes you and the client takes you on board for themselves
and like I said you have a company even the company that I was working on they used to curate events like they used to get other event companies on board to probably run a particular night like a Friday or a Saturday or a Wednesday however they want to do it
right so if I am a club I tell you okay मेरे को Friday night कुछ event कर so how do you go about it
so it's supposed to be in advance I mean my company was not
okay I'll tell you 2 weeks in advance like 2 weeks later on give me fill out my club so how would you go about it
so probably we decide about what theme we want to go with
okay
I mean let's say on a Christmas night we decided to do like every club is doing a Christmas night what is different that people will want to come for your event that is something you need to identify so like it's probably a brief in your head not on the papers that we usually have in the advertising company wanting to decide what is that you are going to provide in an event that the others don't have so we can come up with offers we know the DJ that we're going to get on board is going to be the best and is recognized in the market you have that part as well you have a few promoters if probably you think that it needs to be an event with 1,500 people because when you talk about Christmas that's how you make the most money out
absolutely
of it yeah so if today my event company can give a crowd of 500 together of 3 people organizing it we'll get other promoters on board for like freelancers how do you have freelancers in advertising in the same way you get a freelancer promoter on board.
So what's a promoter's role over here?
Promoter's role is okay. I will put it across in the way that he's he can he can go wherever and in whoever he wants to work with.
Okay.
And in like I said, being in this field has got me a lot of networks. So we knew a lot of promoters who are like freelancers and who basically you need to give them an X amount. They will promise you X amount of crowd, and that's how they get money out of it.
Okay.
That's how it was.
Got it. So promoters are people who bring in the crowd.
Bring in the crowd as well with the event company who's doing it.
So you can also be the promoter, right? You don't necessarily need another promoter.
So if a place is probably a capacity of 1,000 people or something,
you can't bring in 1,000 people.
If I can't bring 1,000 people, for safer side, it's okay to make less money, like I said.
Right.
To make less money and get a promoter on board, and you can get in their crowd as well. Right. So and in the end, it's about making more money, doing more business.
How do you distinguish isne kitna laya, maine kitna laya?
We have our set tables and we have the list and everything in place.
Achha, okay. So
and probably walk-ins were not a big thing to do. Like walk-ins to tumko mil jayenge club mein. Right. And if it's a dead place, it was definitely a difficult task to get that as well. But the major revenue for a company and a club or a restaurant or a bar used to be tables.
Okay.
You need to sell tables. And everything used to come with a minimum billing. और भाई minimum billing बोले तो मतलब तुम्हारा 5 से 6 जन का टेबल है, तुमको 40,000 का बिलिंग करना है. And people do build so much. मतलब पब्लिक के पास बहुत पैसा है बस. Like बहुत पैसा है.
Recession is a myth.
Recession, yeah, it's a myth. I mean, recession के टाइम पे हमने पब्लिक को like 1-2 लाख रुपीस भी खर्चा करते देखा है. 1-2 लाख रुपए के लिए. Like a bottle will cost you around 20,000 rupees in a club.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at MRP, so
MRP. So that's the MRP for the club.
Yeah, that's the MRP for the club. Yeah, fair. So amazing. Like this is something different field that not a lot of people talk about. And Abhi, when you're working in this field, it's been at least 5 years now. You've been in this field. 2018, you mentioned. 6 years now. It's 2024. And it's 24 now.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. No, but I'm pretty sure not everyone is very appreciative of this profile, right? People must be like, oh, you're doing drugs or you're raving or anything. So how do you deal with that kind of a negative approach towards you?
I mean, I would start from my family only. Like it was very easy to convince my mother and my sister in a way like, okay, you know what? I am curating an event and I'm getting paid for it.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. But you will always find old school orthodox people who have a negative connotation for a fact that कि भाई हम events कर रहे हैं तो तुम तो party करते हो, party करके कमाना easy है.
Exactly.
That's the front side of the picture.
Correct.
Grass is always greener on the other side. Yeah. That's how they put it across as. But तुम जब दूसरे side पे रहो and when you work from the other side and then you know how difficult is it to get a crowd, talk, coordinate, make sure that everything is running smoothly. There are no problems within your team. Probably like I was the most experienced person of the team, and there were few probably like 4 or 5 years younger to me, and there were like few who were like much younger to me. To handle that kind of mixed audience was not easy. So
and you still do that with a smile. You have to look happy at the same time. You can't be all stressed out in front of the people.
Yeah,
they would think, hey, isko kya ho gaya? Itna stress ke party mode mein you can't be all like stressed out, right?
No, never. That can never be a picture. So like I said, whenever it was me standing on the door, it was me. And like if I used to see people and probably someone who's like getting irritated or agitated because of something, I'm like, tum jao andar, I'll handle it. Don't worry.
Correct.
Handle your crowd, chill with them, do good networking so that they come for your next event. Keep them happy.
And you do this after your day job.
Yeah. I mean, probably हमारा job तो पता ही है, advertising digital field कैसा रहता है.
You're still continuing that, right?
I still continue that. I mean, that's my bread and butter. This, like I said, is my network.
Right. So how do you manage both of these together? Like I am dead at the end of the day when I come home, and you still manage to go out, stay happy, party, and in a hangover go to office the next day and all. How do you manage all this? And you're married also, right?
Yeah.
You marry you.
वो तो अभी हुई भाई.
But still you manage that as well, right? Your family life and everything. How do you juggle all of these things?
भाई मतलब dedication is very very important. Like I said, let's talk about before marriage. It was easier for me because I used to stay out late.
Yeah.
And वो time पे life easy थी. तुम वहाँ पर जाओ mom को.
I hope Sonali is not listening to this right now.
It's okay. She can't. She knows everything about me. So ऐसा कुछ छुपाया नहीं उससे मैंने. And probably whenever I used to be in the car going home, she was my go-to person and say कि like भाई देख late हो गया. तो बात कर ले. So that's how approachable she was. वैसा
I
था
think
उधर.
which is why she understands your role and profile and everything, your dedication and passion towards it.
She was a
Which is why
freelance.
she's your wife.
She was a freelancer working with me in one of the events companies. So that's how
Yeah.
we got to know each other really well after the job I left, where we
Yeah.
actually met. So she knew my life very well. वो
Right.
time पे.
No, so how is it? Like you still
Yeah.
haven't answered. How is it?
Sorry, yeah,
juggling?
coming to
Yeah.
that. We
Yeah, yeah,
got
we just
deviated.
digressed.
We got deviated. Yeah. So the point is like dedication. That's how you want to do, because I wanted
Right.
to grow. Like I said, with
Oh.
your daily job, maybe it's not filling my box, and I want to do multiple other things in my life. Like I'm a boxer as well. I love boxing.
Right.
I mean, you can see the injury out here.
ये कभी का है?
ये 2015.
अभी तक गया नहीं.
It will never go, na, by stitches.
Okay.
So that's how it is. So I want to do this, I want to do that. I've done my DJing course as well. I've played in the clubs because I always wanted to. There was a weird fetish that I wanted people to dance on my fingers while I funda. Wo fetish
That sounds so wrong, but it's
Yes.
okay. I'll let that pass.
Yeah, but probably that is something that I wanted to do for the longest time.
Again, it sounds so wrong.
Yeah, मतलब dance on my fingers, bitches. That's how it is. I did that. I had that share where I learned DJing. वो भी किया. Event curate किया, सब कुछ किया. सब कुछ, like when you want to do multiple things, you have to make more money. How do you make more money?
Right.
So you have your job, which is probably stable and will give you money.
Right.
But that will not fulfill my dreams and my ambitions and my things that I want to do. That's when I decided that I want to do both together. Initially, I would say that you always have a struggle in the job that you start doing. So to manage left and right were not easy, but then you come to a middle ground when you manage both. You have your jobs going on. You will see that I'm on calls. Sometimes my boss never used to come to know that if I'm doing that
This
job
or that,
I'm talking that. So it was manageable, and I never kept anyone in a darker space of not telling them that what additionally I'm doing apart from this. Unless and until my job was good and I was taking care of that very well, I don't think they had any issues with me doing.
So there will be overlaps of both jobs at some point or the other. You'll have to manage both. If you're doing two things, at some point it will overlap.
Yes. So during bigger events, it used to overlap. Yes, definitely. But like I said, my team was really good. Like the entire team that I was working with.
I have this theory I had read somewhere that if you have an 8-hour job, working hours, as they say in office, hardcore work you will only do for 3 hours.
Yes.
1 hour to your lunch hours, then your tea break, if you're smoking, smoke breaks and everything. All of it comes to about 2 hours, and the rest 3 hours you're probably just like thinking or doing something or the other. The hardcore work probably only happens for about 3 to 3.5 hours in a day, is what I have heard. So when people say that, when I was talking about overlapping, that will happen, and you probably, as you said, if in the 3.5 hours you're managing your day's work, you can focus on other things. It's just about how you manage your time, I feel.
So like I said, the free hours that I usually had where I'm probably not working for my stable job and doing the other thing, that is when I used to start thinking about it, because I love doing these things.
Correct.
So I kept it very transparent. Like I didn't want to hide anything.
Declaration में डाला रहेगा. Sources from other
appraisal में affect होता था वरना तुमको तो पता ही है appraisals कितना important रहता है. तो वो चीज में it would have affected me. So I kept it very open to them. It was like then and there, and people. So again, that's a good part also, right? Where people in the industry also knows that I do events and they reach out to me.
Yeah.
And you have your own companies that have traveled across for like good amount of 13 years that my experience is. So I had a good network in general in terms of audience and people that I knew. So
I'm we've probably spoken for about 20-25 minutes. I've heard network quite a lot from you.
Yeah.
So what is it like? What is your opinion on networking?
I mean, today, for whatsoever reason, you don't have a job, and you know that people that you have reached out to, or let me say, see, you'll meet multiple people. You'll meet someone from X industry, Y industry, that industry that I will be interested in. I would always want someone to be from that field. Like, कल जाके मेरे पास job नहीं है. So I know that I've made good connections, or I have a good rapport with the next person. He or she can definitely help me out. Or probably if I want to do my own business after a point in time, I know that where I can reach out to people.
Correct.
Like someone who was working with me has started with his own restaurant today. Obviously, he had a great backup and everything was taken into consideration. But like I said, all these things will definitely help me also grow as an individual if today I don't have a job. And I mean, it's a value add for them also, because they know what I can do on papers or probably on a job. But do you think that just
knowing a person is enough. Like, how do you establish the trust? Because if they're not trusting you, why would they recommend you?
Like I said, this comes with you
Time
staying
spent.
in touch. You staying in touch. That's about it. You have to stay in touch. Time spend करना पड़ता है boss. मतलब आज even if you hate a person, but you know that person is like really influential. उन मतलब बोलते हैं ना कभी कभी in the worst possible जो गधे को भी बाप बनाना पड़ता है वो सीन है. You have to do that.
You have to. That's the ground reality
Yes.
of it. You have to stay in touch. You can't always say that many people I see off late on. I think it's a role that we can cover that in another podcast about how social media and digital media are making people isolated off late. I have a huge theory on that. But it is in fact a lot of people have. I don't know if you noticed, a lot of people are becoming introverts off late.
I don't agree to it because I
you're
think
in the party scene.
yeah,
so,
this is the biggest reason for me of
yeah,
like being an extrovert.
so
being
people who are introverts, you can't always run behind saying that, cover behind rather. Okay, I'm an introvert, so it's difficult for me to talk. Dude, you can't say that as a cover anymore, because if you have to progress in your life, you have to make connections, you have to talk, you have to put yourself out there. There is no other way.
I'll give you my wife's example. She's an introvert.
Right.
But probably staying, chilling, she realized that introvert is not going to help her and like probably grow in the career in general. And this is something that I know that how, if I have to say, talented she is as an individual. Like she can do designing, she can do video editing, she can do client servicing. She's a copywriter. So like I said,
agency खोल लेना,
agency खोल सकते थे. मतलब basically उसके बाद उतना है. But
Sonali and Sons.
Yeah, she's so talented, but like I said, she's an introvert. That is where she lacks. So
absolutely,
the main thing that she's currently observing around me, and she always knew that I'm a very extrovert person, is helping her grow as an individual, as in general. I wouldn't say as work-wise. So she's
work follows. If you grow as a person,
Yes.
work follows.
That is what is helping her right now to be more of an extrovert and probably talking to people in
help
general.
her maybe flourish and blossom her own nature out there and putting herself out there, giving her the confidence to put herself out there.
मतलब तुमको मार्केट में फेंकना पड़ता है.
तो ऐसा वो memes देखे ना कि how does an introvert socialize them, extrovert picks them up and puts them out there.
That's what I've done, and you don't expect me to be around you all the time. You need to show your face. I don't want you to be considered as my plus.
It's an irrational requirement that you will always be there for someone,
no matter what. She knows that, and for a matter of fact, there have been times where I've given hard lessons to her, like, boss, I'm not there. Figure it out. And I know you'll do it.
That's a little harsh, but okay.
I mean, you have to do that.
I think everyone has a different way to.
You can't be baby shown all the time.
Yeah, fair.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah. Learning with experience and everything. If you do that, I
just hope this podcast doesn't cause you a fight at your home.
Never.
मेरे को ही मारेगी आके
Never. That's not going to happen. She knows I'm here for podcast. She knows I'm going to talk crass.
Yeah, I think not the content. She knows you're here for a podcast.
Yeah.
No, but no, it's interesting theories about how an introvert and extrovert coexist. Like, do you guys argue about how coexisting? How you coexist together?
I mean, yeah, that's something that even I start thinking of. What did she like in me? I would say very honestly, like, I'm the lucky one to probably get her and like have her in my life. And for her, it's exactly opposite, because I'm an extrovert. I know the entire world. I know people. I can chill with this. I can get anyone. No, it's not true. So, like I said, there's never an argument. There's always a disbelief in her where she thinks that I think she's got a better one, but I always disagree. I'm like, it's not true.
तुम दोनों ऐसे आ जाओ कि ठीक है भाई.
हाँ, मतलब ठीक है भाई, दोनों एक काम कर, मांडव भी करते हैं, चल बाहर जाते घूमने के लिए. So there are days where I go what she likes doing. There are days what I like doing in general. I know for a matter of fact that she loves partying. I know for a matter of fact that she likes chilling as well and normal going for movies and everything. So it's a mix and match about like thoda to tumko
you have to coexist. You have to balance both.
Balance. There's a very important role.
There will be times when you wouldn't end up doing something that you like. There'll be times when she'll end up doing something that she doesn't like.
So I'll be very selfish about it. I will never do something that I don't like.
What if she doesn't want to do it? So you'll go and do it on your own?
I would say like if you really don't want to do this, it's okay. I will go and do it on my own. It's absolutely fine.
And what if she's not okay with you doing on your own?
But the best part is that she's so adjusting, she'll come for my things. But I've kept like because of that, it reached the stage where like if she doesn't like X or Y, Z, or if I don't like something, I will end up doing it. Because of she being so adjusting in general. Let me just put it across.
So she's made you
a better person?
Yeah. She's made you come down from your horse.
From a brat
Yeah,
to a
from
nice
back.
human being.
Oh, I know. I've seen you as a brat. I've
Yeah.
handled you as a brat.
Let me just, maybe.
No, but good. Yeah, I mean, as long as you see, we all learn, we all grow. We're never born in a way where we are at the top.
Yeah.
We are born here. Everyone's born here, and we keep climbing. So it's good that way. Cool. Yeah. Again, like any parting thoughts for the listeners?
The young Gen Zs,
Anyone,
or
Gen
the
Zs
oldies, or like
oldies.
I wouldn't
Oldies
say-
like me who still like want to party but are not able to.
Okay, let me give you an example. Today, if Armin van Buuren is playing somewhere,
Let's not
Be-
talk about Armin van Buuren. Let's not.
let's
Because
I
I would
would
go on one leg even if I have to.
exactly my point. So it's about what you want to do.
Right.
It's very simple. Today, an oldie will love his kind of music, probably an 80s. If you have someone from U2, let me just put it across in that way. U2 bhi,
I like you too.
Yeah,
Okay, fuck,
exactly.
I'm old.
Exactly. U2 is a legend.
Yeah, of
You
course.
have your Metallicas and Iron Maidens and everyone.
You're just making it worse for me. I feel old now.
Yeah. No, but like I said, those were okay. हम अगर छोटे भी रहते तो वो लोग फिर भी legend ही रहते.
Absolutely fair.
In that way.
Yeah.
If you have those people coming, you would want to go attend their gig, and that time you are one of the kids. It's about preference in the end.
Yeah.
No? Today you say I am old, I don't want to party, but we partied together in Armin, right? And
Yeah, I
we
couldn't
went
get
all
up for
out.
2 days after that. That's a different story.
But for a matter of fact, you wanted to party that day.
Yeah,
and it happened.
absolutely.
So it's about whether you want that or you don't want that. You want to choose. It's about preference first.
Yeah.
तुमको party करनी तुम करोगे, तुमको नहीं
But
करनी
be
तुम नहीं
prepared for the
करोगे.
consequences also.
हाँ?
Be prepared for the consequences.
आज तुम मुझे expect करोगे कि मैं रोज party करूँ तो मैं नहीं करूँगा. मुझे नहीं पता. I don't know whether I can do it or not. I think I can. I am full of energy. I know that definitely. In fact, the friend circle that I have, I am actually praying that they can match my energy. And the same thing goes for my wife as well.
Yeah.
Do what you like. That is the best thing that I can put it across. And like I said, people have different opinion about partying. You do you, and you whatever you like doing in a party. You want to get drunk, you get drunk. You want to talk to people, you talk to people. You want to do networking like what I did in my life, and if it's going to help you grow in your career, do it. Never go up with a thought or probably think about what your parents are thinking. Yes, do respect them. Try to explain them if possible. If not, then probably figure a way out. That's the only thing I can tell you. Because no matter what, some way or the other, I personally think that partying will help you in some or the other way if you know to do it in the right way. A very simple example is like today we are working at a next place and you have a bar downstairs.
Yeah.
And it's a commercial setup. Probably तुम्हारे फील्ड का दूसरे कोई इंडस्ट्री से आएगा तुमको वहां पर मिल जाए. That's networking.
Absolutely.
So today if you want to go to another agency, you know who to reach out to. If you have a good rapport, if you have connected a good like probably network with that particular person. So that's how it helps. You can chill. That's always an option, right?
Yeah.
Partying is chilling. Partying is networking. Partying is getting drunk, lost. Everything. It's a mixture of everything.
Forgetting stuff.
भाई तुम्हारा दिन खराब है तो भी तुम दारू पीते हो. तुम्हारा दिन अच्छा तो भी तुम दारू पीते हो. तुमको नेटवर्किंग करना है
तो भी दारू पिएंगे.
न्यूट्रल है तो भी दारू पिएंगे. तुम्हारा आर्सेनल जब फुटबॉल हारता है तब भी तुम दारू
Let's
पीते हो.
not talk about that.
So it's a like come on यार. I'm currently United, so you know my situation as well.
नहीं, you're used to it ना. हम लोग को hope मिल के हमारा दिल टूटा
We
है.
sail in the same boat. I'm not used to it. Ferguson never gave me that.
नहीं, last 2 साल से तो चालू है.
It's last 5 since the time Ferguson has
I was
gone,
being kind by saying 2 years.
I'm being absolutely blunt. I love the club, but I hate the management currently.
At least you're not delusional like other people.
I'm not.
No, fair.
Let's talk reality about City is the next future and probably Liverpool.
As much as I hate.
As much as I hate because it's like
I know, as
like
much as I hate
it's like India Pakistan currently for
I
me.
know,
Yeah.
right. As much as I hate it, it's
Yes.
a fact. Yeah. No, so lovely catching up. Thank you for coming.
Same
I
here.
hope you enjoyed the coffee.
Yeah, it's cold. It was a black hot coffee which become black
Cold black coffee. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you enjoyed the episode. And if you're partying, party safe. Don't drink and drive. Never drink and drive.
ये भी पकड़ा भाई ये कभी बाद में बताएंगे.
Yeah, let's talk off record.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, stay safe. Take care. Cheers.